Chers auditeurs,
Dear listeners,
bonjour.
welcome in Comme d'Archi Podcast Season 4.
Saison 4, dans le monde fascinant des architectes.
And in the architectural projects.
Je suis Anne-Charlotte Deponte, passionnée d'architecture et docteur des universités en histoire de l'archi.
I am one of the spokespersons of Anne-Charlotte, who is a PhD in architecture history.
Merci.
Thank you
D'être avec moi aujourd'hui.
to be with us today.
Et
And
maintenant,
now,
lundi en français, place au talent.
and Wednesday, let's talk projects. In English, of course.
Bienvenue dans Comme d'Archi.
Hello everyone. Hello Pierre Thibault.
Hello.
Thank you for being with us today. You are architect, Canadian architect.
Yes.
And in 2 or 3 sentences, could you introduce us to your architectural practice?
Yes. I work in Quebec City. I'm also a teacher at the School of Architecture. And I like to work with the landscape. For me, the border between inside and outside doesn't exist in real for me. I like to have this fluidity between the environment and the architecture. And I try to develop the most integrated architecture in our territory.
Yes. Your team is a little...
Yes, we are like a family.
Mm-hmm.
I like to work with a small team. We are around 10 people. We work in old bakery in Quebec City. We have a large table, and we have a pleasure to eat together around the table. And it's a real family. We have a fireplace, and it's like at home.
Yes. You are lucky because you have a lot of space.
Yeah, it's so different. Yeah, I live in the past in Paris, but I like so much. But it's in terms of density, it's completely different. We have a large landscape, and yes, it's another life. It's another world in a sense. If you have a lot of space around you, it's easy to have this relation with the trees, forests, and everything. It's so it's not so far. And it's why every weekend I have the pleasure to walk in the forest with my...
The scale is very different.
Yeah. And the presence of nature also is so important. And another very different aspect of our life, we have really 4 seasons. A big difference between winter and summer. We have an incredible difference. It's maybe minus 35 or... It's incredible, but it's also for an architect, it's a real challenge how to design in this very, very different condition. But it's also, for me, a pleasure to try to find the best solution.
Okay. Now, can you tell us about your projects of schools?
Yeah, I wrote a book of 6 years ago, and one chapter in this book was about school. I visited a very, very incredible school in Scandinavia, and I'm so impressed when I entered in the school at that time. Everybody smiled. Why? It's possible to be in a school and everybody like to be there. And with my colleague, who was also the writer with me, why we don't have this kind of school in Quebec and in Canada? We have a lot of money, we have a beautiful landscape. And I realized because we have the bad rule, we have to reinvent, to develop new rule, to create a better environment for the child. I remember when I was young, the terrible day in my life was the first day at school. What is this block in brick without trees? What? It's like a prison, not like a school. And it was, in my memory, an extremely bad experience. And it's why, the school have to be attractive, to be like a beautiful house in a park. we have to create the best condition for every children, independent if you are the good condition to live or not. We have to create the best space.
But it's not easy. It's difficult to change.
Yeah, I realize it's a lot of energy. I created this lab we call lab school or lab école in French, but with a lot of energy, with a lot of people very motivated, it's possible. And we have the ability to convince our Ministry of Education to create 5 different schools to maybe to show another vision, another direction. How is it possible to reinvent it? And reinvent each part of the school with the children. It was a real pleasure with all the person around the school, and I realized how this kind of discussion was not an habit in our society.
Amazing. Pierre Thibault, now you open an exhibition about your work, about the theme of territories and landscapes. This exhibition is at the Galerie d'Architecture, Rue des Blancs-Manteaux in Paris. It's a very well-known gallery. Bravo.
Yes.
Until the end of May.
Yes. It's a real pleasure for me to come back in Paris. I was a student in Paris when I was a teenager. And since that time, Paris is very important in my life. And I'm a teacher at the university, and mainly my student came from France. And it's a little bit strange, but I have an incredible good relation with many architects in France. Yes, and I received this invitation to present many of my projects in Paris. It's like the idea was to recreate maybe a small portion of my country. If you visit the exhibition, you will have the feeling to be in Quebec, sometime in winter, sometime in summer, and you will also see a lot of model, because we work for us to use model is so important to realize the real presence of the architecture in our site, and a lot also of drawing and model our habit to work.
Yes. And you like to use timber too?
Yeah, it's mainly we try to use the wood structure, but also wood for main part of the house. Some projects are totally in wood, and sometimes with the same type of wood, because I like the light on the wood. I like this. I smell the wood. It's since when I was a teenager, the presence of wood is so important, and this material is well connected with our climate. It's good in winter, good in summer, and yes, and we have a lot of wood. It's also with the in term of energy, it's a good idea to use this material for our project.
Okay. Something else?
Paris is an incredible city. I suppose if you have time, have a look at our exhibition and
yes, Galerie d'Architecture Rue des Blancs-Manteaux.
À Paris.
À Paris.
I will meet you at the exhibition. I will be there sometime.
I hope so. So thank you very, very much.
It was a real pleasure to be with you in Paris tonight.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Next time.
Next time.
Thank you for listening. Thanks to Julien Rebourg, sound engineer, who is collaborating with us today. Don't forget to tune in to our previews on Instagram at Comme d'Archi Podcast. If you enjoy this podcast, don't hesitate to promote it by giving it 5 stars and a little comment on Apple Podcast or on your favorite podcast platform. And above all, subscribe to listen to all of our episodes for free. See you soon, And until then, take care of yourself.